Alrighty, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I go by the YouTube handle Cryptic Coil, and for the two people who watch my channel, it's good to see you guys again. So in today's video, I have yet again another book haul, but this time, this book haul is from thrift stores. I hit up a couple of thrift stores here in town, and I just wanted to see what they had. I was looking for some books to complete my Christopher Pike and my R.L. Stein collections, and I found a few, but they had a lot of other good stuff too, and I went a little crazy. If they had it and I wanted it, I bought it. No regrets. But eventually I'm going to have to stop hauling books, and I'm going to have to start reading books. Just life has been really hectic lately. So, this was a pretty good book haul, if I may say so myself, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Let me go ahead and show you what I got. So, the first book I have is Christopher Pike, The Eternal Enemy. Now, if you watched my Christopher Pike book collection video, maybe you might remember that I already have a copy of this, but I found this one at a thrift store, and it was in such good condition. Something told me, why don't you go ahead and just pick it up? Don't pass on this one. So I did. I brought it home, and I looked just out of curiosity. I looked at the copy that I have, and it's in pretty rough shape. So I'm glad that I have this one. It's in really good condition. I believe it's a first printing because the font of the author's name and the title are embossed. So it's good to have a copy of this in such good condition. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a first edition. I also found a copy of Twisted by R.L. Stein. Now, this came out before the Fear Street series came out. This was one of the point thrillers. And I'm pretty sure I had this one as a kid, but after reading the back, I don't remember it. The tagline is, "She's beautiful, she's popular, she's crazy, twisted." And there's a lovely young lady standing in front of a broken mirror, which tells me she either has bad luck or she's about to run into some bad luck. So I'll read the summary on the back. Abby is a pledge of Tri Gamma, the best sorority on campus. This year, the Tri Gams go a little wild at pledge time. They take Abby and the other pledges away for a weekend of murder. At first, Abby thinks the weird stuff they're doing is just in fun, until she finds out how twisted her sisters can be. It's pretty metal. Abby always used to say she'd die if she didn't get into Tri-Gam. Now she knows she was out of her mind to think that way. She's not going to die. She's just going to go crazy. And then last from R.L. Stein, I picked up this copy of Fear Park number 3, the Last Scream. I do have a copy of Fear Park number 1. I do not have Fear Park number 2. Once I find a copy of Fear Park number 2, I will then have completed my collection of the Fear Park series. Alright, so I also found this copy of Creepover. This is number 1 in the series. I've never heard of the series before. Book number 1 is called Truth or Dare. I'll read you the summary on the back. Let me show you the cover. So there's some young girls, maybe elementary school, maybe middle school. I'm guessing middle school. There's someone being creepy outside their window. It looks like they're telling scary stories in the dark. So let's see what this is all about. Do you want to know a secret? During a round of Truth or Dare, Abby Miller confesses her crush on Jake Chilson. The only people who know her secret are her friends at her sleepover, and whoever sent her a text message in the middle of the night warning her to stay away from Jake, or else. But Abby isn't going to stay away from Jake, especially not after he asks her to the school dance. As the night of the dance approaches, some very creepy things start happening to Abby. Someone definitely wants to sabotage her plans with Jake. Is it a jealous classmate? Or, as Abby begins to suspect, could it be a ghost? So let's see, what year did this come out? Okay, first Scholastic printing, September 2011. So I was already like a grown man by the time this came out, so that's why I've never heard of it. And I'm not really getting any nostalgia out of this because I didn't grow up reading it. Some of these other books that I've been buying, I mean, I can justify reading it because of the nostalgia. This one, I just don't know. I just don't know. It does sound good, but the characters are just so young. Like I'm not really gonna be able to relate. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. All right, so this one is cool. So this is the House on Cherry Street, Book 3, The Final Nightmare. Now, I had the first one as a kid. I picked it up from the Scholastic Book Fair in elementary school. I did read it. I don't remember what it was about. And I forgot all about it until I saw it on a Cameron Chaney's channel. This is number 3 in the series. I didn't know that there were 3 books in the series. I just remember the first one from when I was a kid, but I found this at the thrift store, and now I'm going to be hunting for the other ones to complete the collection. And since I don't remember reading, or I know I read it, I remember reading it, I just don't remember what it was about, it'll be fun to reread. Okay, so I also found this book, okay, called The Power. I'm guessing that's the name of the series because on the side you can see a number 7. And so this one in the series is called The Vampire's Kiss. And the tagline reads, she'll need all her power to resist the vampire's kiss. Now, it's for a vampire novel, it's pretty typical cover. There's a lovely young lady. There's a dark, mysterious dude dressed like a classic vampire in a modern way. The white collared button-up shirt, the black pea coat, slicked back hair. Let's see what this is about. Tall, dark, and deadly. When Mackenzie Gold meets Michael Blake at a Halloween party, she's more than intrigued. She's simply never met anyone as romantic and thrilling as this handsome stranger. He's so incredible, in fact, that Mackenzie ignores certain peculiarities. She only sees him after dark. He seems to appear out of thin air, and he somehow knows her most intimate secrets, while she knows almost nothing about him. Even though her psychic powers soon unmask him for what he really is, a vampire, it's clear that Michael has no intention of making Mackenzie his next victim. What he wants her for is something far different and far worse. Okay, so that sounds kind of interesting. It does sound very reminiscent of Twilight, though, except whereas Edward, wanted what was best for Bella and wanted to protect her and all that, it seems like this guy has something a little more sinister up his sleeve, and I'd be curious to know what it is. I found this other book, also titled The Vampire's Kiss, by Ellen Schreiber. And there's a mansion, some bats flying in front of a full moon, an iron gate, no tagline on the front. So it looks like this came out in the early 2000s. I just saw a copyright date for 2003. Yeah, 2003, and I saw one for 2005, so I don't know if this is a reprinting or something, but Raven lives in Dullsville, where nothing ever happens. Until now. The mansion on top of Benson Hill has been empty and boarded up for years, but a new family has moved in, a family that never ventures out during the day. Who are these creepy people, especially the handsome, dark, and elusive Alexander Sterling? Or rather, what are they? Could the town gossip actually be true? Are they vampires? Raven, who secretly covets a vampire's kiss, both at the risk of her own mortality and Alexander's loving trust, is dying to uncover the truth. Okay. Sounds fairly interesting. Um, I also picked up another point thriller from an author that I've never heard of, and the book is like kind of warped. Um, so it's called The Lifeguard by Richie Tankersley Cusick. Uh, and I'll just read the tagline before I show you the cover. Don't call for help. He may just kill you. All right. So there's the cover. You have a muscular, hunky dude sitting on top of his lifeguard tower chair. Uh, this is bringing back a really weird memory for me. If I ever read this book and review it, I'll share that memory. All right. Let me read the back. A summer of sun, sand, and murder. Kelsey's summer should have been paradise, an invitation to rich and famous Beverly Island, complete with sun-drenched beaches and 3 gorgeous lifeguards on duty. But Kelsey's summer is the opposite of paradise. It starts with the note under her pillow from a girl who's missing. Then there's the crazy man in the lighthouse who won't leave Kelsey alone. And there have been a number of suspicious drownings. At least she has the lifeguards around to protect her. Poor Kelsey. Someone forgot to tell her that lifeguards don't always like to save lives. That sounds interesting. Alright, so I also picked up a couple of Lois Duncan books. I picked up A Gift of Magic. I'll read the tagline. Nancy can do things no one else can. Nancy can read people's minds, know their thoughts, and make them do what she wants. A Gift of Magic. When the old woman died, she left each of her grandchildren something very special. For Kirby, the gift of dance. For Brendan, the gift of music. And for Nancy, the most extraordinary gift of all, magic. Interesting. Haven't read this one. This one is called Daughters of Eve, and the tagline reads, they share everything. And there's nothing too compelling about the cover. There's just a pretty girl on the cover. But she's holding hands. Look at that. I don't know why she's doing that. I don't know if they're doing some kind of seance. I don't know if they're praying around the dinner table. I have no idea what's going on. So let's read the back. Sworn to secrecy, bound by loyalty, shattered by hate. Daughters of Eve, the high school's most exclusive club, has adopted a shocking agenda of secrets and violence. Who was safe from the lies, and who will be their first victim? Okay. So there's something kind of culty going on. So this one is called Stranger with My Face. Now, I've heard of this one. I think I saw a review, but I turned it off because I didn't want spoilers. So this sounds pretty wicked. Ooh, this one's probably going to the top of the reading list. Someone is watching Lori, waiting to steal her life, and there's nothing. The cover is kind of vague. So let's read the back. Lori was at home, but her boyfriend swears he saw her on the beach with another guy, and now her family insists they see her coming and going when she's been out of the house for hours. But how can she be in 2 places at one time? Who or what is trying to take over Lori's life? It's up to her to figure it out before it's too late. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, I also picked up a number of Caroline B. Cooney books. So this one is called The Emergency Room. Now, I already own one of her books. It's in hardback. It's called 3 Black Swans or something like that. But the only one of her books that I ever read was The Face on the Milk Carton. I read that one in 7th grade, and man, I was just blown away. It was a really great read. And there's also a movie too. But as a kid, I liked it, but Looking back as an adult, I think I feel a little different because it was supposedly a happy ending. Um, I'm as an adult, I don't know if I consider that a happy ending. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but anyway, this one is called Emergency Room, and there's somebody on a hospital gurney. There's like a candy striper who looks really concerned. And the tagline reads, "Where there are only seconds between life and death." So that's the cover. Let's read the back. 6 p.m. Volunteers Diana and Seth arrive eager for the chance to help save lives, but they are completely unprepared for what lies ahead. 6:38 p.m. 18-year-old Jersey is carried in with a gunshot wound, an innocent victim caught in the middle of a deadly drug battle. 6:55 p.m. Diana encounters a man who arrived gasping for breath and finds that her own life may be changed forever. 7:16 p.m. Alec, only 17, is brought in near death after hitting the pavement in a frightening motorcycle accident. As the minutes rush past, Diana and Seth must struggle to find their roles in a place unlike any they've ever experienced, a dizzying world of excitement and horror, hope and despair. Not interested. Then there's this one, Driver's Ed. There's an upside down stop sign. There's kind of a windy road. There's a tree. That's the cover. Sorry about the sticker. That one's going to be a little tough to remove. I'll try it some other time. Let's read the back. Driver's ed was like so many things in school, if the parents only knew. Remy Marland crossed her fingers and prayed to the god of driver's education that she would get to drive today. Remy loved to drive. She didn't know where she was going, but one thing was for sure. She was going to get there fast. Morgan Campbell had been standing on the threshold of turning 16 and getting his driver's license ever since he could remember. Deep in the first crush of his life, thinking of nothing but girls, Morgan forgot what driving was all about. Driver's ed, the only life and death course in school. I don't know. I do have a couple more. I'm not trying to drag this video out. So this one is also by Caroline B. Cooney. It's a point thriller, and this one is called Flight Number 116 is Down. All right, and there's an attractive young woman rocking a Freddy Krueger sweater. There's some burning forest behind her. So let's read the tagline in the back. Saturday, 5:10 p.m., 16-year-old Heidi Lanseth is alone in her isolated home near New York City. 5:15 p.m., across town, 17-year-old Patrick Farquhar, a volunteer rescue worker, longs for an emergency, some way to prove himself. 5:30 p.m., flight number 116 from San Diego, a jumbo jet is nearing the New York area. 5:41 p.m., a deafening roar fills the air and the sky glows red. A huge plane has crashed in the woods just beyond Heidi's house. Mustering strength and courage she never knew she had, Heidi, alone at first, and then with the aid of Patrick and hundreds of others, works to help the victims. It is a night that will change her life. Sounds interesting. I'm kind of looking for horror, though. So this one is a hardback by Caroline B. Cooney, and it's called They Never Came Back. And the cover is kind of hard to describe. I mean, there's the silhouette of what looks like a man and a woman running from something or running away together. Then there's a face. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. So let's read the back. There's no tagline on the front. Kathy decided on facts. I don't live here in Greenwich, she told him. I live in Norwalk. You look like Muriel, he insisted. She asked the logical question. And who is Muriel? that's all there is on the back. I guess if you open the front cover, there's more plot summary, so let's read that. At summer school, nothing much happens, usually, but this day is different. In a busy school cafeteria, a teenage girl is confronted by a classmate who questions her very identity. He explains to the students who have crowded around that the girl has an uncanny resemblance to his cousin, who was taken away by social services 5 years ago. Her parents abandon her, fleeing the country after being accused of embezzling millions of dollars. The students are intrigued, but the girl convincingly to most shrugs off the attention as a case of mistaken identity. As the days pass, however, the boy refuses to relent and even brings his parents in to back him up. They too are stunned by the resemblance. But they are not the only adults involved. An FBI agent who has been working on the embezzlement case from the start appears as well. He believes that whoever this girl is, she can serve as bait to help the FBI capture the fugitives. In They Never Came Back, which explores the evils of greed and the obligations of loyalty, Caroline B. Cooney has once again crafted a page-turner that will resonate powerfully with the readers. And then there's kind of some biographical info. Okay, so this one right here, this one's going to the top of the reading list. Wow, that looks good. I also picked up another copy of More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I have a backup copy of one of the books in the series, and I told this chick at work that I'd give it to her. So I picked this one up too, so I can give her two. And I have one more book to show you guys. All right, it is by Grady Hendrix, and it's called My Best Friend's Exorcism. Now, I have not hopped on the Grady Hendrix bandwagon yet because I know that he's a big deal right now. And I see him everywhere on YouTube. And by everywhere, I mean like within BookTube. He's a regular on the Pike cast. If you don't know what the Pike cast is, they have a YouTube channel. And it's a podcast where these people discuss Christopher Pike books. It's like a book club, but it's dedicated solely to Christopher Pike books. And they oftentimes bring on guests, people who have their own YouTube book channels. Grady Hendrix has done a couple episodes with them, or a couple podcasts with them. So if you're not subscribed to the Pike cast, I highly recommend that you do. So I've seen a few videos where they rank Grady Hendrix novels, and this one always seems to be number one, and I found it at a thrift store, so I picked it up, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into that one. So that's it. That was my book haul. So let me know in the comments section, how do you think I did? I feel like a mighty hunter. Well, thank you guys for watching. Horns up. Peace out.